7 minutes. That's all it took to rob the world's most famous museum. On October 19th, 2025, the Louvre was robbed in broad daylight. The crown of Empress Eugénie was later found on the pavement, dropped by the thieves as they tried to force it through an opening that was too small. 88 million euros worth of jewels were taken by 2 robbers who fled on scooters. So how did it happen? And what exactly was stolen? At 9:30 a.m, a truck pulled up beside the Louvre. 2 men, dressed as construction workers, extended a ladder from the truck to reach a balcony, then cut through a window to get inside. By minute 3, they were inside the Apollo Gallery, and alarms began to sound. They cut into 2 display cases and began taking the jewels. Within minutes, they had collected tiaras, necklaces, and other imperial pieces. Staff initiated security protocols, but the response was delayed. By 9:37 a.m, the thieves had escaped on scooters. But what exactly was stolen? Who did these jewels belong to? And what did they represent? The pieces taken were part of the French crown jewels, objects that had moved through empires, revolutions, and generations of royalty. Among them was a sapphire set created during the First French Empire, first worn by Hortense de Beauharnais, and later by Queen Marie-Amélie. Also taken were pieces from Empress Eugénie, including a tiara and brooch once worn at the height of the Second Empire. Jewels from Empress Marie-Louise were stolen too, emeralds gifted by Napoleon I in 1810. But this raises a bigger question: how does a museum like the Louvre let this happen? This isn't the first time the Louvre has lost something important. In 1911, the Mona Lisa was taken by a museum employee who hid the painting in a closet overnight and walked out the next morning. In 1976, thieves escaped with a diamond-studded sword that belonged to Charles X. You would expect that those lessons would lead to stronger protection, but in 2025, the same gaps were still there. In the Apollo Gallery, some cameras were pointed in the wrong direction. Access to the surveillance system was protected by a password so simple it was reportedly just Louvre. Staffing had been reduced, even as visitor numbers continued to rise. In the aftermath, the Louvre's director resigned. The crown they left behind is now being restored, a delicate process expected to cost around $50,000. But the rest of the jewels are still gone, and experts fear they won't resurface intact, but broken down, sold piece by piece, until no trace of them remains.